Everyone, Shane McMurray from the Wedding Report. Thanks for joining me on the show today. This is our podcast and video series on venues, focused on the venue itself, bar service, rental companies, and catering services. Today, I'm joined with Trish, and she's with TS We 2 in Erie, Pennsylvania. Trish, thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having us, Shane. I appreciate you reaching
Thank
out
you.
and asking us to do this.
Yeah. So tell me about yourself. Tell me about the company. Tell me where you guys at. Everything about you.
Well, as you mentioned, our company is TS We 2, and it was kind of off of PS. Hello, we're here. So it's actually Trish Sean We 2. We're located in Erie, Pennsylvania, and we started our business back in 2018, and we have gradually gone through the epic times of COVID as everybody else has, and gradually now things are starting to get back to normal. Still a little bit of unsure with some companies and some businesses, but we do what we can and we try to accommodate everyone's needs.
Yeah, so just for everyone listening, we interviewed you guys in 2020, actually right when COVID had hit, and you guys had already been like 2 years in, and so then we were talking about what was happening, and how have things been since we last interviewed? What have you guys gone through? Let's talk a little bit about that.
Well, once it kind of broke and people were allowed to have more than 75 people in a gathering, we started to see a humongous incline in requests for dates. Sometimes we were having 2 and 3 on the same date because now all these brides were trying to get their wedding done because they've already been post 2 years or a year.
Yeah.
So we were very fortunate with that, is the residual of COVID being able to go ahead and accommodate. We actually had to bring on 7 people this summer just to accommodate a lot of needs for a lot of people. And we've kind of ventured into a couple different things as well, and which is kind of nice too, is because corporate companies are now starting to do their picnics or employee picnics. And doing their appreciation days for their clientele. So we've been very fortunate too, where we are kind of like the main person that they call now, because again, it's kind of goes back to a lot of our referrals that we have, which is really nice too, because I'm a little anal when it comes to making sure that we're not just bartenders. Each one of my people have personalities. They're very easy to work with. We have a lot of standards. Nobody is to wait in line longer than 30 seconds for a drink. It's the stupid little things that a lot of people don't look at that I do, because I look at it as if I'm sitting on the other side of the bar, what do I see in myself? So we decorate the bar, we make it look really nice so it feels welcoming walking up. You don't feel like there's any reason why you shouldn't come up to get a drink from us. We're not going to judge you. It's not. So we make it very warm and inviting. So there's a lot of it behind the scenes that's just not bartending.
Yeah. How can I get you on the wait time? Like, there's nothing like having to wait in line for like 15 minutes just to get a drink. How do you judge that and get that rolling? What's
well, we do. I'm I'm a stickler for setup. So when we go, usually 2 hours ahead to set up, and everything is in order. Like we do a lot of craft cocktails, a lot of specialty drinks. That's one of our main things. We became very, very good at it. So we offer that option, and we have those pre-made. So you're not sitting there, and some of them do take me like 24 hours because there's certain ingredients that have to,
they have to mix together and marinate.
Yep. So that is one, but even we do simple like raspberry lemonade vodka, simple stuff like that, but it's still pre-made and it's all ready to go. And we don't and when I say pre-made, we're not like the pre-made restaurants that there's no alcohol in it. We actually pre-make them with alcohol.
Gotcha.
So and then beer, we have that aligned, ready to go. Our cups have ice in them, ready to go with the drinks in them. So people, when they're walking up, and we only do like 6 or 7 at a time, but it's ready, because those things are all time consuming. Getting a cup, putting the ice in it, turning around,
Yeah.
getting your pop. So we have everything accordingly. We have a lot of pop lined up, boom, 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 ready to go. So that makes it one advantage for us of our quickness,
So
and our
that's
accuracy.
the key then, being prepared for what you're going to be. Do you have any like it seems like if you're preparing a lot of mixed drink stuff, would you have waste that comes along with that?
So what we do with that is we save a lot of the plastic containers, and then whoever has hired us to bartend, we put those back into the plastic containers, and we let them take it because we have no use for it,
Got it.
so they can do with it whatever they want.
So you factor that in the cost, right? Like it's like here's how, you want 75 people, we're going to do this. This is how much it's going to be,
Exactly.
and you
Yeah.
can take it when you're done, but we're not going
Yeah.
to yeah.
Yeah. Anything that we cannot reuse, they are more than welcome to take with
That's
them.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when you say setup, you guys have everything you need to come in and set up for the bar service,
Yeah.
like count tables and all that stuff, or
Yeah, we do everything. We have the tables, the linens, the decorations itself, and we color coordinate to whatever color theme
nice.
or whatever they're doing. Then we also do a really nice layout of, so if, say, the bar's open from 2 to 6, but there's maybe a break for dinner if we're doing a wedding, from
Mhm.
5 to 6, or they don't want us to serve, we put that on that sign so everybody kind of knows what's going on throughout the day too. We do that for our corporate events as well.
Oh,
So if
nice.
there's like a speech for a half hour, and they don't want us to make any noise with ice,
Mhm.
then we just shut down, during that time.
Yeah.
This way the guests know, we know what's going on. We're all in sync with each other. Nobody's complaining that, oh, the bar's not even over, can't get a drink. They know ahead of time what's going on. So we
Yeah.
communicate with them as well.
That's cool. Yeah, yeah, that's cool. Do you have like you don't have like a lot of I don't know, popular now is kind of like the mobile bar service where they have a Airstream or some other scenario where they pull up and everything's kind of already set up and they're serving in that realm.
We have not, we have ventured and looked into it. A lot of the places, venues that we have, um, they already have either maybe a bar set up inside the venue.
Mhm.
If it's an outdoor one, it's typically in someone's private yard house
So
area.
that makes it
So they
difficult.
don't have it. So,
Yeah.
the tables,
Yeah.
it is nice, and I would definitely like to venture into that. I don't see a humongous big demand right now
Okay.
for it. And there is
Good.
some people that are doing it here, and more power to them.
Yeah.
My thing is that they have them and they just run them out empty, and then you still have to find the bartender. I don't understand the purpose of that. I don't know. I think it's a disservice to the client itself, because now you rented this area, but you still got to get everything for it.
Yeah.
So I've been contemplating. You
Okay.
know,
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
really been
yeah.
contemplating that one.
Well, I mean, the other thing too is like if something's working, why break it when it's working and serving what you need, right, to run your
Right.
business. So big thing now, obviously with inflation is going up and all that stuff. Bar has a lot of materials that you have to buy, right? A lot of supplies.
Mhm.
How are you guys dealing with cost control stuff? Um, specifically, like if you say you book someone today, Trish, right, and then
Mhm.
you're not serving them for a year, let's say, what happens to the cost situation? That like those supplies could go up significant, right? But in a year's time, how are you guys working through those?
Yeah. So unfortunately, I really did kind of screw myself with some contracts last year, and I'm a very fair person. I'm not the type of person, and I won't do it. Those people didn't know inflation was going to happen. I didn't know inflation was going to happen the way it
I think a
did.
lot of people did, yeah.
And so I felt that we had to, if we had signed contracts from last year, we had to make it work for us. I wasn't going to go back to them and be like, oh, well, hey, by the way, inflation happened, and now you owe me double what you just paid me. I did see caterers doing that to people, and I just think it's unfair, because it was nobody's fault. I mean, it happened,
Yeah.
and so what we have done, going forth
Yeah, I was gonna say,
is,
is there a lesson learned there?
yeah, so what we've done is we've actually, redid our plans, and we sat there and we were like, well, if we make it this price, or this price, are we still going to be okay? It's like any other business. We're in it to make money as well.
Yeah, you have to be.
That's why
Yeah.
we're here. We
Yeah.
do provide a very nice service. So some people are judgmental in regards, they think it's too much until they actually do it or work with us and they realize what they're actually getting. I mean, you pay for what you get. I mean, that statement will always hold true.
Yeah.
And
Well, and you have a lot of costs that people don't see. They don't realize the back end cost of a lot of things. So yeah.
and that's it. Like, we offer them where they could go provide everything if they want to. We just bartend, which is
Yeah.
great. Or we provide a service. We have two different packages where they tell us what they want. We go shop for them, and I don't really charge them to do that. And it usually takes us about 2 to 3 hours to actually get everything, because we unfortunately live in Pennsylvania, so you can't go to one store and get everything. You have to go to a beer distributor, you have to go to a liquor store, you have to go to a wholesale place to get the cups and the
Sure.
napkins. So it is time consuming, and the people that get it, they get it. The people that think we're overpriced don't get it. They don't hire us, they do it on their own, and I
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wish them more, power to
Yeah.
them, because I think they realize after the fact, because we've had some people come back and go, I wish I would just went with you guys and did it the way you
Yeah.
recommended.
Why stress about it? Yeah.
But you can't, when people have it in their heads, you cannot change.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
cannot change their minds no matter what you say, because
Yeah. So did you guys decide on some kind of variable cost
we
control?
we we did. So we repackaged everything, and then we put it on our website so they can see straight up front what the costs are, what they're getting, for the silver package or their gold package or just their bartending package.
Mm-hmm.
We've made it. We may have to look at it again in February. Unfortunately, this year alone, just like soda pop, you know, it has gone from $10.29 for a 30 pack up to now $17.59
Yeah. Yeah. It's
in
insane.
in less than 9 months.
Yeah. 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 It's quite insane. Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's absolutely. I'm just like, I don't understand. Like, pop is not on the down low. Like,
Yeah. Well, it's
it's
all the transportation cost and all the other stuff in the middle of getting that thing from them to you, right? So
yeah,
it's not just them. Yes, corporations are raising prices because they feel like they need to do that. But it's all I think it's all the downwind
it is.
costs, right? That just roll all up, and then next thing you know, right, like the distributor has to sell it for X.
Yeah, yeah, and and I mean, I get it. I was a senior market consultant for 25 years, so I understand.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't realize that there's probably a million jobs that are open right now, because there's a million plus people that either died or they're not with us anymore. Something. And
Yeah.
then I don't think people understand that gap right now. They're just like, people are lazy, they don't want to work. No, it's not true. They're just not here anymore to fill those positions. It's not that people
Yeah.
are lazy, it's not that people don't want to work. You had all these people, they all had jobs. You don't have those people, you still have the jobs. You don't have that
Yeah.
gap to fill those jobs in. So, and I
Yeah.
understand that's in supply and demand. It's they got,
Yeah.
if they have to pay their people double, then do they have to raise prices? Yeah, I
They
guess so.
do, right? Yeah,
You got to do what
they
you got to do to
absolutely have
stay.
to. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
really.
For leads, what are you guys doing to get leads, and then what's been working for you guys and what's not working for you guys?
Um, we're on every social media website, and we do try to stay up to date. Sometimes, it gets very overwhelming because there is
Yeah,
so much.
yeah.
But we also network, with other caterers, with other, DJ services, with the venues. We do try to work together. I always try to refer the people that I know will do the best job. If someone contacts me, um, I sit down with the couples. A lot of leads I think we get is just because I honestly am proactive. I don't sit around and wait, for people to email us. So we do update, we do post different things, we send out thank yous. My daughter, she has her own business too, and she's kind of been on me, with the whole TikTok and Instagram. She's like, you've got to get on there more, that's my generation. If you want to hit them more, so
Mhm.
every once in a while she likes to, butt in and try to help and whatever. She is a help to me. She is,
That's
by all
good.
means.
Yeah. Um, so I mean, you guys do a lot of other type of events, right? So you actually probably get a lot of leads from those events.
Yeah, so we've been fortunate enough. We've been able to contract with some beer companies. They are now starting to get back into sampling
Oh, nice.
and their promotion sponsorships. So we actually do anything from Erie all the way to Pittsburgh, into New York, into Ohio. We did find that, there's some like the supermarkets, they do not want to do the sampling yet. They're still not over the whole COVID thing. But some of our supermarkets here that are selling the beer, they're good reference points because they do have the nice locations and stuff.
Nice.
Um, the beer distributors, we work with them, but it's the main companies that we're working with. So we're
Gotcha.
contracting with them, to help them out because it seems like their whole marketing teams, or however they did it pre-COVID, they don't have that anymore in the
Oh,
company.
nice.
So now they're reaching out because they need those positions. They need people to help them out because you might have had a staff of 8 people at a beer company. There's one person left. That one
Yeah.
person is now trying to do everything, especially
Hmm.
like in if you're in um, a St. Mary's area or a Pittsburgh area, you're doing all the way from St. Mary's all the way up here to Erie. One person just can't handle that. So
Yeah.
they subcontract us out, and then we're able to go and just, set up, do whatever they need us to do. If it's sampling, we just go to the beer distributor for a 2 hour period, let people know what the products are because it's an unfortunate but fortunate situation right now. Like every week, in all honesty, there's probably about 25 different kinds of beers coming out.
Wow.
And if you are like everybody else, we're prone to buy what we like. And if
Hmm.
you have no idea what it tastes like,
Yeah.
you might look at it and be like, oh, okay, that's nice. So they came
Yeah.
out with another product. Hey, that's great. But you're not gonna buy it.
No,
So
because you haven't tasted it. You don't know what it tastes like, right? Why are you going to
that
waste the money? Yeah.
so the whole, concept of us, subcontracting with beer companies and getting these samples out is actually a benefit, to the beer distributor and to the beer company, and
Yeah.
it's very easy to get people to try things, and once they try it, either they like it or they don't, and it's just an opportunity, like anything
Yeah.
else in marketing. You got to try what works. So,
Yeah. And I take it from that, you guys get some exposure as a company, right? And you get some business from that.
yeah, absolutely. And the other venue that we've been very fortunate too is that corporate companies are now starting to do stuff with their employees again, whether it be their summer picnics, their appreciation days, their client host days. So we've been contracted several times with large corporate companies to set up and get going in doing their bartending for them. And, we've been fortunate with one company that just is very, very happy with. I said, she's like, I'm using you for all of Erie and Pittsburgh at any
Nice.
given time. And we do a lot of events. So, that obviously is a feel good for us too, because, it's
Absolutely.
the
Yeah.
reputation and we want to do the best at
Yeah.
any given time, no matter if it's a small client or a large client. We don't care, it's,
Yeah. Well, I think that's the key. Like I've learned that personally over the years. Like if you provide the best service that you can possibly provide, you're doing everything on the up and up and trying to make, just help people
mhm.
have a great event or whatever, that comes back to you, right? And you're already seeing that
Yeah.
because people are like, hey, we love what you guys are doing. We want you to help us,
Yeah.
so, that,
It was funny at one of our events. It was a company that hired us that it was actually all business owners that were at this event.
Oh, nice.
And
Yeah.
so a lot of people are coming up and they're like, so who's the owner of your business? Do they have a card? Like that. I'm like, I am. They're like, wait, you're the owner and you're actually working? Wow, that's great. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, why wouldn't I? Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
This
I
is what
know
I
a lot
love
of
to
business
do.
owners don't like to work where they actually own, but it's very important. Again, and it goes back to the presence that we're offering, and
Mhm.
the personality and everything. And I want to meet the people. I want them to know that, yeah, if you hire our company, yes, most likely you're going to see me behind here bartending, because it's important to me to make sure it's done correctly.
Yeah, yeah, that totally makes sense to me. Last question for you, Trish. If you had to go back 3 to 5 years, what would you tell yourself?
um, that's a really good question. Couple different things, probably. The probably the most important one is to realize how important the company is, and don't underestimate cost on myself. Um, I think when we first started out, we wanted to be the not the cheapest, but the most inexpensive, but offering the best service. And knowing now all the work that I've put in it over the years,
Mhm.
not to be afraid to ask for that higher price, because you know what, it's going to come twofold, and people will see what they're getting, and they're not going to be afraid to pay for what they're getting. Um, I still gawk at when I see caterers food and my prices are still half, and I'm the one that's supplying them the entire time. It amazes me. So, but I'm always that type of person too, that I try to be realistic. And
Yeah,
sometimes we've run into unfortunate situations where I don't know what happened, but people just don't tip anymore, which I don't understand where that concept came from. So
Mhm.
we've had to incorporating tips into our total now, just so I
Wow.
can make sure that the
Yeah, the
bartenders that
bartenders
are
will tip.
working for me, will come back, because, if they're not making money, I don't expect them not to,
Yeah, yeah, they won't come back. Yeah,
So I think that's probably the most important thing. And then, just the organization a little bit. If I'm going back 3 or 5 years, just I've learned over the years, with contracts and, just simple little things, checklists and stuff like that, just organization's key to everything.
yeah, good advice. Especially the cost for yourself. I think a lot of businesses don't think about themselves as an equation of being paid as part of their business, right? And
Exactly.
they kind of like, oh, I don't need to get paid. I'm just, no, you need to account for yourself, and you need to make sure that you're getting paid on top
Ex-
of everything that's happening, right? That's you have to.
You do. And again, I still try to be very, I do try to help. I think I have that
Of
sensitive,
course.
too much sensitive sometimes when, people tell me these stories of, we don't have a lot of money. It's like
Yeah.
I try to accommodate, but at the same time, I look at it now and I'm like, these people they don't offer breaks. Nobody offer breaks. And, I still try to, I do, but
Yeah.
it's to a point now where you just really, you got to, I have to understand what I'm worth,
Yeah.
and you
Well,
know,
you're running a business, and a business has to earn a profit in order to grow. And if it can't earn a profit, then it doesn't grow, and eventually you don't have a business. So if you
exactly.
want to build a sustainable business, you have to price accordingly, and you have to understand your market. You have to understand what's happening in your market today, be able to price accordingly enough that so you can earn a profit so that you can grow and sustain your business over time.
Yeah.
There's no other way around it. I mean, if you don't, I mean, I always like it always drives me nuts to look at some of these technology companies, and they're burning like millions and millions of dollars a month. And I'm like, how are they even expected to be?
I
How are
know.
you even making a sustainable business over time, right? Like you're burning every quarter, you're burning $100 million every quarter for 10 years, and you still haven't made any money. I mean, who the heck is funding that, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. To me, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, eventually you get profitable, right? Okay. I don't know. I've always been of like, you got to make some profit, and that's the only way you grow.
Yeah. And I'm fortunate I still have a full-time job too, so, you know, I am fortunate in that. And then, I do have a rental company that we use just for like rental games and stuff, for like casino nights or,
Yeah,
stag. So so I am going in all kinds of different directions. So I think that's why I still have that little thing on my shoulder that says, if they need help, just help them, so,
yeah,
but I really need to focus, I do want to grow the business,
well,
and
good.
eventually, either give it to my kids or,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, a lot. Sometimes Trish owners don't realize that, right? And the fact that you do realize that, and you go, you know what, I gotta make these changes so that I can grow my business, and that
hmm
says a lot, right, within itself, right? Like
yeah.
you understand what you need to do. So
hmm
awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, thanks for being on the show again, and really appreciate it. Good to see you, and glad to see you guys are doing well.
Awesome. Thanks for having us, Shane. I really appreciate it.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye.